It's award season in Los Angeles, and I'm going to the Costume Designer Guild Awards, and what to wear? No fear, I have an idea. Show you what I'm gonna do. Coming up. The Costume Designer Guild Awards are one of my favorite parties. It's usually held at the Beverly Hilton in Los Angeles, where they do the Golden Globes, and I go every year. What to wear every year? I've actually started a while back. I had a gown I bought it at Macy's. It was a cocktail gown. It has a real pretty bodice on it. And this was the skirt right here. As you can see, I took it off. I've never worn it as a cocktail gown. I think I just bought it for the top. But I did wear this once. I wore it to an Oscar viewing party. So it wasn't as dressy, so it was a little bit better. I wore this and then upcycled the gown into a longer gown, and I don't even know where it came from, so it's always meant to be. I had 6 yards of 4-ply silk in my stash, and I was like, why do I have so much 4-ply silk and with 6 yards, and where did it come from? So I don't remember buying it, but I needed exactly 6 yards to make this skirt, and I had this is the top, by the way. Actually, didn't have this here. This was one of my latest upcycles, but it's just the simple gather here. It's like a jersey fabric. It's real simple. This is the gown right here, or the skirt part. It's 6 yards. It's a circle skirt, and this drops a little low, so it just kind of scoops down. It's a little more flattering, and the circle skirt cuts real wide, and then that means you have that movement in the skirt. So what I'm going to do, this dress, I did one dress. It was called the Crayola dress. I put colored gauze on the hem part, on this hem part here, and here's a photograph of it. I call it the Crayola dress, and that was really fun to wear because you walked and it just poofed out and stuff. And then the next year, I took the Crayolas off, and I had it dry cleaned, and the black from this fabric bled into all the colors. They were all silks. They were charmeuses, like vibrant yellows and then greens, the very primary colors. And so it actually got damaged, and the dry cleaner to this day probably still like, why did they never call me and tell me I damaged their dress? But I had to take them all off. I stitched them all on and just take them off, and then I ended up having to unhem the whole dress. But what I did was I made this into the lobster dress. Right here you can see my lobster. And what's a lobster dress? If you know anything about Elsa Schiaparelli, I cut this out. This was actually simpler than I thought. It took a lot of time, but it was all embroidered, and then I just did like sections of it. But it's a lobster in there. I don't know if you can see it. Elsa Schiaparelli, I think in 1937, she used to do little comedy pieces on her evening gowns, which is what I love. And she made a lobster. It was Salvador Dali's painting. He did some kind of lobster, and then she put it on a white dress, and it became very famous. I have a video about the making of it, and then you'll see the Elsa Schiaparelli dress and all that, because I'm sure I talked about it in there. But I wore that last time. It was really fun to wear. So now what I've done is I basted this lobster on, so you can see the basting stitches. I'm going to cut these all off, save the lobster in case I want to use it again, because I really loved wearing that. And then, so now I'm going to take I'm going to take off the lobster, and then I'm going to take the skirt off of the bodice, because I have another idea to upcycle this gown again. This will be the third time. I feel like it was a fourth. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it. It's kind of fun. So it's a great basic bodice. And then the little top part I put in here also, I could just take that out. That was just basted in there too. I just did that. So it's just a quick baste. But I was recently in Rome buying fabric. Actually, wanted to go and I did, all those videos are coming out. They're probably, some of them are out already. But I bought this fabric. It was the first fabric store I found. I found this beautiful rose print. It was $88 a meter, which is about 3 inches more than a yard. And it was the designer Cavalli, and it's a silk georgette. I think it's a georgette. Chiffon is a lot lighter, but the print was just beautiful. They showed me so many prints, and it was the first one I saw. And then they were showing me, and I was like, oh. And then I went back to this one. The lady goes, in her thick Italian accent, was like, it's always the first one. But it was, so what I'm thinking of doing is I have this rosy skirt that I make a lot of, and it's actually it's behind me there, right there, and it's got that handkerchief bottom on it. So I love that pattern so much because you don't have to cut it up and put seams in prints. So you can use these beautiful prints without interrupting them with seams. So that's why I love that skirt so much. And it's just floaty, and I love it with chiffons and georgettes because it's light and flowy, and I love it. So I bought this to make one of those, and then I found another black fabric at another fabric store in Rome, and it's got a real texture to it. So I think I'm gonna, and I left it at home, but I'm put a second layer under there, and then I'm gonna put it over. I'm gonna sandwich it in. I'm gonna cut this apart and put it in here, and then have layers, and then it ends with, just plain layers. So I just got to put it over that, and then if I have a little rose left here, I'll either leave this plain, which will be, it's pretty deep for me, or put another black, or if I think when you cut this fabric, you have like a circle left out of it because it's like a circle part here. So I have like a circle. Might be able to get a little bit of this print in there. So also the other part of the idea is after I wear this gown, I can take off those 2 layers, and then I'll scoop it out a little bit more and make a rosy skirt with it, which was the original idea. So I could have the gown and then the rosy skirt for the summer because it'll be really light and airy. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna make it a muslin out of this polyester georgette and see if I like it. And if I don't like it, then I'm just gonna wear a plain black gown because I don't have any other options unless I go shopping, which I hate to do. And also, I didn't want to do that this year. I don't want to shop this year because I'm doing a creative challenge, being creative. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with taking the lobster off and making a muslin of that, and I'll show you how the muslin looks, and go from there. Okay, so this is the rosy pattern right here, and I figured it needs to be, it's a little bit like that much too big, so then I redrew the line right here. So this will be the opening that will go on the gown, because I need the gown to fit right here. And it's not, I think the waist is about here. It's just about a 2-inch drop, and the rosy pattern is like 4-inch drop. So it gets wider here. So I'll just cut this. I think I have it pretty balanced. I'm also gonna cut it with pinking shears because this fabric frays like crazy. And then I'm gonna save the circle. So much better to do a muslin of this before I go risking that. So I took this apart. I actually tried it on. I just pinned it. I've got straight pins in there and just tried it on. I put it on over my clothes just to check it out, and it didn't hurt at all. Didn't get stabbed. I made a muslin of the pattern. So this is the regular rosy pattern, just the square right here. And then because I don't have enough of the other fabric, I'm gonna do a lining of, I have the georgette, and then this will be the fabric. So while I was trying it on, I actually at home, I had made a shrug last year, and I thought this would be great because this is actually a rose print and it's a shrug right there. I have a pattern on my YouTube channel here and a video on how to make these shrugs. So this was a dressy one that I did, and I thought this would be perfect for over the top right here. I also took out the pink right here. I have to definitely have to put something here because this is just a tape top under there. It's pretty low. So this is the fabric, how it's gonna lay right here on the top, right there. It's shorter in the front, and then has the longer peaks, so it's not a square, it's more of a rectangle. I did the longer sides. And then I had this fabric right here. What I need to do, the problem is it's not wide enough, so I can't get it to hang longer here. So I have to get, I don't know what I did with that fabric. The Georgette fabric is just a sheer Georgette. I think it's a rayon. I bought it in Rome also. So I'm going to use that, and it's also thinner, which is good too. So I'll have a thinner layer here, so it won't get too thick here. Add this. So while I was trying this on, I thought, hey, I still have some of this fabric left. Oh my gosh. I have about 2 or 3 yards left of this. And I thought, instead of this as the underlining, what if I use this? So I'll put this with that. And then when this gown event and all that stuff's over, I'm going to take this apart and make this into a skirt. So that will be a whole nother video coming out. So I have like another skirt, because how often do you wear a gown, right? Not very often. And if I'm going to wear that, I'm not going to wear that gown again. I would take it off, and I have another idea actually already. So when I'm in LA, I'm going to be searching for this other fabric, and I brought it home to, it's my plan B if this doesn't work out, but I only have a little piece of it, so I'll show it to you. I'll bring it in, and it's a butterfly with the netting with butterfly. That would be so pretty on that. Although, can I do a, actually it'll work. I almost kind of want to do that, but I don't have it. So, and I don't have to search for it. I bought it a few years ago, so I don't know if I can get it again. I know when I was in New York, I found a lot of types of them, like the netting with the butterflies, and so now I want to wear both of them. But I'm going to stick to my plan. All right, so I'm going to now cut out I'm going to cut out these. I'm going to go with this, because if this doesn't work out, oh well. But what I've done here too is that this is not on the rectangle. These are just strips right here. And I just did instead of doing the whole pattern, I just did a quarter of the pattern, by the way. And then I have a seam right here. So this is what it looks like on the other side, right there. And then there's a seam, and then the mitred or mitered sides, like that, just a diagonal. And it's coming along. I have my first layer all laid out. I've got it torn. To keep the selvage, I had to pink this side because it was a little crooked and there wasn't enough to tear, because I don't want to cut any of this fabric. I need every inch of it. But I found this center right here, and put another center mark here. It's between the 40 and the half. Thank gosh for these cutting boards, because I need to anchor in my fabric, keep it in there. You can't do that with the plastic, so just anchor these in. Then I have my other piece here. I'm going to cut these, I think, at the same time. I said I think. And I found the half of this one. Lay this out right here. Find my half right here. Get this all even. Start with the halves. And then lay it all out. And then I got a little circle. I'm actually going to use the leftover circle from the muslin right here and put it there, and that's my cut line right there, because it turned out really good. The math somehow worked out. It's just so confusing, but so I get this right here, pin this down, and that's going to be my cutting point. Then when I go make the other skirt, when I turn it in, my yoke is longer, so I'm going to open it up and then cut a bigger hole in these 2 layers and put it onto the yoke of the other, the daytime skirt. All right, I'll pin this all down. Okay, I think I got it. I marked this up right on the center. I still have invisible pen marks left over from the muslin. And I went right up the center. I think I had it there. And then I measured 21 inches off on both sides, so it looks good. All right, and then I just got to cut this right here through both layers. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I hope I do it. Wait, sometimes you gotta think about this. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong side. I think these are the side seams. This is the center front and center back. Side seam, they're longer. This is shorter. Okay, here we go. Oof. I always say if money can fix it, it's not a problem. But if you have to call Rome and ask them for more fabric, then it's a problem. But it's not the end of the world. Okay. There is my cut. Nice. All right, this is ready. Also, I had one other problem with this thing is there's also a center back zipper. And I found if I just cut, I didn't even have to take the zipper out. I'm just gonna like do a little tuck hem, and I gotta cut one layer right there. So I think I'm going to have to pick, I don't know which one I want the front, but right here I'm gonna go ahead and mark that so I get it accurate, and then I'll transfer this to the other part because, yeah, this dress has a zipper on it. Actually, I think the zip, it's so stretchy, I think it goes right on. It may not, wow, I don't know, I might be able to get away with not using that. Yeah, because then when I go to make my other skirt, I have a hole in there. Ooh, didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I might. Okay, that is cut. Woohoo! Now I have to cut the strips of the other fabric. That's a little easier. These big shears. I'm just gonna cut one at a time. I have to cut 2 long ones and 2 short ones. All cut. Ta-da! Just a bunch of chiffon. Oh, that's gonna be, chiffon's not so easy to work with, but now I need to go get thread for this color. This is all I have left of that little rose pattern. I was thinking about putting that in the neck part, but I might do the black. But I have this colored thread. I don't want to do black, but I think this would be good. I just don't know if I have enough of this. I'm going to wind it on a bobbin and risk it. I also have a little left of this. This is actually a better color. It's a little orangey. It's like a cherry red, they call it. Oops. But, ooh, that went under the table. But I think between the two of these I can get them together. I hate going to buy thread anyway. And I like the, this is an older thread. I like Maliniki thread, which they don't make anymore. So I do have some of this Maliniki, but I don't know if it's the exact, it's a little burgundy. It might work. I'm gonna wind a bobbin and see. This is a long fibered polyester and it's real smooth and it goes really good into silks like that. So you gotta get a good quality thread when you're working in silks. I also get a size 9 needle. I gotta get a nice fresh sharp one. But I'm gonna put the borders together on that black, the mitered edges, and then just hem the borders and then attach it to the base and then hem the rose part. And I might do all that in between classes because those are like little, I wouldn't say they're 10-minute jobs, but I like to do 10 minutes here and there, but probably 20 minutes on some of the hems, yeah. Because I'm actually just gonna roll it up once and then probably straight stitch it, yeah. The zigzag would show. So I'm not gonna double roll it like the fine hems like that because I'm not really good at it and you need little tiny fingers to do those. So, all right, I'm gonna take a break. All right, came in, just got about an hour to do the hems on this. I don't know how far I'll get, but I gotta do these in little increments. So first I gotta sew these seams together here, and these are real stretchy, so I have to be careful. So I think this is the long one. Actually, I don't know which one is what. I know it's gonna be like in a square, so I gotta put these right sides up, right here. And that's the front or the back or the sides. I don't know which one is what. This one looks shorter, so this must be, I think my shorter sides were the center front and center back. So right sides up like this, the corner, and then this one, make sure it's not twisted, and then this one is like that. So just gotta make sure I don't get them, how do you say, get them confused with either. That's why I like to just pin all these. I think I'm just going to pin all 4, and then we have to Get these, I'm going to sew them exactly 5/8. Have the seams all sewn. And I sewed those ones. Uh-oh. Yeah, I got that wrong. I have to, oh no. I sew a right side and a wrong side. Oh, and I did a tiny stitch. I gotta go and figure that one out. Darn. Yep, I sewed this last one wrong side down. It's so hard to see where the right and wrong side is. So now I have to take that out. I never sew on the default stitch on my machine, which is 2.5 because it's so small. But I thought because of the chiffon, I will. And now I have to take out all these seams. But how I'm going to do that, obviously didn't get a good reverse in there because that came right out. What I do is I just pick out one thread and pull it like a ruffle all the way right there. And then that's why you also do really short reverses. And then I probably should have done this before I pulled it. And I pull it out and it's out. So not that big of a deal. So I don't have to pick out the whole thing. Oh. Okay. Whew. Now I just have to take those out and then I'll lay this out, make sure I get this right sides. You know, it happens to all of us. What are we gonna do? Have the seams all sewn, and now I gotta press open the seam allowances, which also I think I did 1/2 inch seam allowances. I think I had said 5/8, but if I remember, I think I just did a 1/2 inch seam allowance on this. Iron's buzzing. I should use a press cloth on this. I'll use it when I get around to the other side. It's hard to press open seams, especially bias seams, and you got to put a press cloth under it. But if this were polyester, I'd probably have to do it. Okay, that looks good. And then get this real flat. I love the selvage edges on here. The other side doesn't have the selvage, which the selvage is really going to make it easy to hem this. Okay, so now what I need to do is trim this part off here, and I gotta go kind of farther in here. I use these pruning clippers. I was looking for these for so long. A lady donated these to the school, and I was like, what are those? And I was looking on Amazon, I couldn't find them, and then it turns out they're pruning shears. So I have them on a link on my website, and actually in the description below too, because they're really great tools. Wow, I wish I could just keep this hemmed like this. This would be so perfect. I love the selvage on here, but the other side of this doesn't have the selvage edge. So this is going to be really easy to hem here. It's because I'm just going to all I'm going to do is roll up the hem 1/4 inch right there. I'm going to press all of this, let it cool. Get a sharp crease so that it's easier to sew. If you just roll it that way, it would make a mess, basically. Well, that turned out nice. The hems are all done. It wasn't too difficult. I really love that selvage edge there. And then looks good. Now I have to attach this lining part to this part. That's where all these little pivots are going to come in. I gotta figure that out. Not really good with that stuff. Let's see, so now I have to find the long end. Yes, right here. And do this right sides together. I think I got my long end here. Oh my gosh, I just turned that. Okay, got confused. Okay, long end here. I need to turn this right sides together. I'll be pivoting here and then moving it around there. So it's going to be a lot of pins. I think I'll just do these in 1/2 and 1/2. Yes, because all these pins will go everywhere, and I just like to pin everything because then I know it's going the right way. Okay, that one went in really well. Just got it connected there, pressed it up. Looks great. And okay, you can see how it's looking. It's a square with the band on it. But yeah, that's the part for the lining part, and I just want that rose part to stick out here. And then this, I still have to hem this. This is going to be another day because I left Mo at home. I had a class, and he's been home almost 5 hours now, so he's cramping my style. So I can only get things done in little increments. But tomorrow I'll come in and hem the rose part, and then I'll be able to put it on the dress and really see how this looks. Very excited. All right, in for another day of sewing. Got the skirt hemmed. Ta-da! Just a little tiny hem on the edge. I didn't even roll it up twice. I didn't do the little fine hem. I actually just took it, I pinked it slightly so it wouldn't fray. Some of it got to be torn and then some got to be pink. So just tucked it up. Nobody will see it. And then I basted it to the rose fabric. Oh my gosh, it really looks so pretty together. I can't believe how this worked out. It's just, wow. It matches my shrug right here. So this is that same fabric. So now I have a shrug. I don't even have to worry about the top part. Although the shrug, I think I have this arm part, I gotta put a little tucks right there so that it kind of stays up, but long story. I do have a video out on how to make these shrugs right here, and I think I showed you on using this fabric also. I made several of them, but this has been so great. Instead of like a shawl, because I love to wear tank tops and can't show my arms so much, and this is just such a great addition to my evening gown wardrobe. And I also made one out of white linen and in a black knit that's perfect for traveling, and you roll it up and you just put it in your travel bag, and then you get cold and you put it on and it's like cozy. So look for that shrug. I'll also put a card up here, and it has a pattern. The pattern's included in it. Where were we? Okay, so this is the skirt, and all I gotta do is, it's gonna look like this right here. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh. And it's so great because I just bought this in Rome, and it's just, I got to use it on something real fun. I just love it. And then this is gonna turn into another skirt after this event's over. I'm gonna take it off and have to cut this part a little bit deeper because the yoke's deeper. Or maybe I'll just do a smaller yoke, yeah. Because this is gonna be quite long. I think it might be too long because right now it's at the floor. Ugh. Probably gonna have to, I'll probably have to shorten the edges on there. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, right now to the dress here. But so I'm gonna attach that here, and thank gosh I just pinned this to here, so all I gotta do is take the pins out. And then when I do that, I still have to take the lobster off right here. And where do you go? Poor little lobster. When did you ever hear a fashion designer say that? I gotta take the lobster off. Very strange. Only Elsa Schiaparelli probably said that. But okay, unpin this. This is how I had this in here. Ow, I just stabbed myself. I didn't even use silk pins. Had all these pins in here. You can try them on if you pin it like this and then tuck the little sharp part in. Just kind of weave it through like this, up, down, and then you can sometimes really, I mean, this went all the way around my high hip area. So you can actually try them. A lot of people are so afraid of the pins, but they don't really hurt that bad when they stab you. So I tell my students to get the Band-Aids ready and just, or just stab yourself a couple times and get used to it. Okay, so now, I was gonna take that out, but I don't want to take that zipper off. So now I got that disconnected somewhere in there. I don't need this muslin anymore, although I'm gonna keep it for sure because I make so many of those rosy skirts and I'm always coming up with new ideas. So keep that, label it, so when I look at it a year from now, I don't go, what is this? Okay, now I have to take the lobster off. Look at all that, and the fraying is good because it made it look like a lobster. So I just have to clip all these long threads Start with some knots. Okay, I think I got the lobster off. A couple little spots. Oh, there he is. The lobster. Oh, I should put it on a jacket or something. Cute little lobster. Like, kind of like don't know what it is until you go, oh yeah, I see the lobster. So it's a conversation piece. You got to tell people what it is. But there's his eyes, little scales right there. And put the white in there to separate that. And wow, that was a lot of work when I think about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll put him away for another time. Fix that. So now I've found the, I forgot now. I think this is the center back because this little white spot here. So I got to pick out the favorite side. I put the center front right there. So now I have to get this over the dress part here. So the center back is where the zipper is. This looks like a mess. Really don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'll figure it out. I think it's going to get tucked under here. I just got to figure out how to get this pinned in there. So I think what I'll do is pin this on the zipper right there very carefully because chiffon could tear. And then start this and find the center here. All right, I'm going to keep pinning. Okay, all pinned, ready to go and sew. Zipper to zipper. Okay, have it all stitched in here. This looks so great. This top is getting a little worn out. And then the back looks like this. So I have the zipper right here. I'm going to have to go in and hand stitch this and then tuck that under and then my stay stitch. But look at that. Just going to bring the zipper down to here. I don't even have to block it off because it just ends right there, but I'll actually have to like base stitch that. And there's a little, I'm going to have to get in here and just hand stitch it all right here. And then, yeah, okay. I'm going to put on the dress form, see how this looks. I got it done. Ta-da! It looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, I really love the way this turned out. And look, the shrug even hides that back zipper, which is not a problem anyway. I still have to do the little finish work on there, but the shrug fits over that. Wow. And this shrug just really makes this all work. I can't believe how this all turned out. This was the easiest year ever. Other than just buying a dress. Although I don't think I've ever done that. I always make some because costume designers should be able to make their own dress, right? Anyway, so this looks great. Oh my gosh. Now all I have to do is I'm going to put a piece, because this is pretty low right here. It's too low for me. I'm going to put, it's called like a little dicky, which is just hand stitch a little piece of this in there, like sheer. And then that will make me not look like I'm, falling out of it. So yeah, just a little piece of that. It'll connect all of the, make it flat like that. Connect all of that right there. Then there's my gown. Also, I kind of put it on over my clothes, and whenever anything goes at my waist, I felt a little wide in it. And then when I put the shrug on it, that gave me more of a triangle shape right here, a little widened me out at the bat wings there, and then it had a little thinner appearance. So I need the shrug. Otherwise, I don't know. This is what it looks like without the shrug, which is still pretty, but, and that's actually my size dress form. So, but I don't feel like I look that thin in it. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? So that's gonna go like that. It's on backwards, but got the idea. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I get to wear this in a few weeks, and I will get you some pictures of me wearing it at the Guild Awards, and now I gotta think about what to wear next year. Or maybe not, I don't know. But I found my fabric that I just had bought a piece of this because I loved it. I bought this in downtown LA a couple years ago. And wouldn't this be pretty? Not take this off right here, but just a whole skirt in that. over that black. I think that might be my next one. So hopefully I'll go to the next one. Anyway, this is the third time on that dress. This bodice is probably gonna fall apart. Like, I wonder if anybody knows it's the same bodice. I doubt it. So whenever you wear all black and stuff, nobody really knows the shape and the style of it. And everybody's too concerned with themselves, so it doesn't really matter. So I just want to be comfortable, have some fun, all that. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.